Let's take a look at bed rails today, or bed rail caps, bed tailgate caps, something, whatever. So it's a rubberized cap that goes on top of your bed doors. Right here, this is just unprotected paint. So if you put anything on it, you'll end up scratching it and you'll rust, whatever, that kind of stuff. I had my truck repainted, as you can see from a prior video. It's a bit dirty now, but the tops are now unprotected, and I need something to cover it. Before I had my truck repainted, I had one protector on one of the bed doors. I forget which. I think it was that one. I peeled it off. It was all worn and beat up anyways. I ended up buying new ones. However, unfortunately, shipping a tube about that long cost a lot of money from Japan. I probably could have just tried to source something locally in the US and just make do with it, and that would have been a lot cheaper. But now I have these OEM covers. Let's take a look at what they look like. Buying these bed rail caps weren't expensive. I think they were about $80. I will correct that in the video if I'm wrong. I will double check. But the problem is shipping. Shipping this huge tube across the world from Japan apparently costs a lot of money. And as with most shipping items from Japan anyways. But it was worse because just to ship this one item, or one set of items, I would hope I could pack it with something else to try to save on it, but I believe it was about 180 US dollars to send this to me, and this was the cheapest option available. So that's a bit tough, and I was like, okay, it became like a $90, $100 thing that I thought I was going to spend on, and it became like a almost $250, $300 thing. I hope they're worthwhile. Let's open this up and find out what I got. So they're like this, black and shiny, not all worn out. They have a decent thickness to them, a reasonable flexibility where it's stiff, but not too stiff. They come with adhesive pre-applied, so you just have to clean the top of your bed rails and then slip one of these guys on top. So you can see it, but then I'll actually put it on properly. So you're supposed to flex it out a little bit, and then it'll fit on like that. That's what it's supposed to do. Let's see if I can just peel it all. Start from here. This actually isn't the full length of the door. So if you care for aesthetics and you don't want to off-center it, make sure you get both sides aligned properly first. See how I have less on this side? You'll probably want to do something like that, where it's just a smidge on both ends, right? I'm not gonna be that picky about getting it exactly the same, but you may be different. I just didn't want it lopsided, so don't start at the very edge, because you'll end up over here with about maybe a quarter or a half inch left. This looks satisfactory enough for me. I'm gonna put it on at this point. You can just press down and slide across. Okay, I encountered an issue while I was lining this up on this end and then pushing it across. I don't know why it did that. What happened was I started with a little gap here, and then I pushed and pushed and pushed and slid it across. And then when I got here, this fit flush with the other end of the metal here, and that was weird, because that's not how it measured out. Maybe it expanded a little bit when I shoved it in here. So I peeled it up and I did it again. I hope I didn't mess up the adhesive too much. It still seems to stick on fairly well. What I ended up thinking was that I thought that this was actually a full length, so I lined it up here, did the same thing, pushed it all the way across, and then I was left with like a half-inch gap here. So that was ridiculous. I ended up peeling it again and just starting with a little gap and just pushing it across, and now it is fairly even on both sides. and it's not too bad. I guess this is why it was good I started on the smaller piece, because now I know about this potential thing happening. I can do it to the longer pieces without worrying about it. I don't think they're directional, but I seem to have a preference on how to use it. If you look at the end of it, you'll notice that this side is more like rounded and a little bit further out, and then this side on my left, your right, is more straight. So that leads me to believe that I would want the rounded edge further out. I don't know if it makes a difference at all, but this is just something I'm noticing. So the exterior side is the rounded side, and then the interior side is just a sharp drop. That's how I'm going to do it. So if you want to prefer to do that, you would follow me and do that too. The entire length of the bed rail cap here is also not the full length of the door. You will see that I'm going to start here with a little bit of paint showing, and then it's going to be about 2 finger widths here where it's not going to be covered. However, you're not going to have any load or anything there like resting on it because of this thing right here. You're not going to have that with the rack here, so this won't be of any concern to me. I will just cover most of the rear side. You start on this end because this is the end that matters. All right. So that's it for applying these bed caps. Pretty simple. Takes about 20 minutes maybe if you take your time. Clean everything and you're all set. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and more videos of maintenance, mods, all kinds of stuff will be coming for both my Suzuki Carry and my Suzuki car on top of me. Have a nice day.